world. Cheers. Good morning. Well, I made it through midterms. I'm diabolically sick, but you know what? I had a great sleep last night. So here we are. Guess what, guys? Remember when I didn't have access to my Christian or my Celtic Christianity course online until like 24 hours before my exam, and I had to cram in 3 weeks worth of information? Well, that exam, 100%. And you know what's so crazy? Cheers! Is that we actually all received an email from that prof. So many people didn't even do the exam. Oh, bless up. So Professor Sarah was at least pleased with the rest of us who even did the exam, but because she knew that I didn't have access to the material 24 hours before and I got 100%, I feel like without speaking to her, I might be in her good graces. Cheers. Oh yeah, the last exam was yesterday. I don't know yet, but here we are together again. Okay, well, we need to call in some crowd favorites. Grandmama. Oh, and we're already seeing my girl Lady Justice on the bottom. You know what? I did dream about someone in the legal system last night. Don't know. Okay, well, let's do a real chef. Let's do a real chef. Okay, let's call him in. God, Jesus, Grandma, Buddha, Archangels, all ascended masters, all of my benevolent ancestors. Yeah, guys, I'm just raw dogging life. It's both a 9 million out of 10 terrible, but I don't know. I just keep literally showing up like Lazarus. Just when we all think I've laid down to die and just not get up again, I don't know, and still I rise. Maya Angelou, yeah. Still I fucking rise. Yeah, I don't know how anything's gonna work out at all in this moment. What the hell is this? Ugh. Yeah. Oh man, talk about the year of the snake. That last little bit of snake. Oh, the purging, the crying. I have never felt so distressed. But look, what a difference a day can make. Look at here I am. See, look, you're busting out of your rusty cage too. Yeah, I can't keep a good man down. You know why? Love, right? Look, yeah, busting out of our cages. The cages from the world, the cages from all of our pedophile, terrible leaders. Also, hello, this is what NPD abuse looks like, but it's not on a global scale. Everything you're experiencing is what survivors experience all the time. So, like, here we all are. We're all in the same boat now. We're all getting caught up to speed. And we're breaking out. And we're going to fight for our rights. Yeah, fuck. Guys, if you don't know that Soundgarden song, I'm telling you, what a fucking banger. Ooh, let's all put on that song today. Just rumpa-pum-pum. Yeah. Let's get into when Jesus was flipping tables at the tabernacle. Exactly. Man, when that robe is a flappin' and the sandals a tappin'. Exactly. This energy. Can't keep a good man down. Here we go. And a good woman down. And a good person down. Here we go. Okay, Grandmama. Oh, Knight of Pentacles. There we go. So we're busting out of rusty cages only to show up smartly dressed. Oh, I love this. Just like how I was saying, where it's just like, it's debilitating. You know what I mean? You're trapped. Oh, you're probably, well, he doesn't look like he's been starving. He looks a little bit ripped. But you know what he did in that time? Where he was like, you know what? I'm going to be in a cage. Ooh, we're going to do burpees. We're going to do some pull-ups. Use that time in the cage to get fucking strong. It was the cage that made him stronger to come out. Oh, I love this. And now, look at that dress. And she's sitting side. She's sitting on the side. Oh, dilettante, debutante. Got the top hat on. Okay, so what's coming after that? Oh, wait, no, two. I don't want to right now. Okay, so the Seven of Wands. Oh, we're leaving. We're leaving town, Charlie Brown. I have noticed it from the beginning of this reading. I've put we, so I guess I'm joining the collective today. I don't think I've ever really inserted myself into a reading, so I think this is a collective for everyone, including myself. Hooray! I accept. Well, we don't know where the reading's going yet, but you know what? I'm already buckled in, guys. I'm already driving us there, but I'm allowed to come to the party. It's like when you hire, like, I don't know, the birthday performer, and then you give them a piece of cake to be like, you should eat too. So, here we are. Okay. Oh, yeah. Thank God for Dayquil. Oh, that's one of the modern medicines that I do. It has seen me through some times. You feel like you have the bubonic plague? Take a Dayquil. I have. My whole life worked some jobs where I couldn't call in sick. Okay, I wasn't focused. Seven of Wands. Nine of Swords. It's also like a cage. Yeah, we're busting out. Now, I understand that. Well, busting out is always uncomfortable. Like, this is the thing. Change comes with being uncomfortable. It's the pathology of humans. Anything that is unknown, while I think some others would identify that as being scary, really it's just about what isn't known is unpredictable. And we don't, like, we evolved as like an animal. So things that are unpredictable don't feel safe. And so there's a lot of discomfort. And especially if you are the one who has to be responsible to break out of the cage. And also because, going back to him having to get buff in the cage to even break out of the cage, it also is about a discipline. Yeah. Okay, but we do see some anxiety. I'm seeing this ring. Beautiful hands, though. I love that pose. Okay. Knight of Penties. Where are we going? Straight into the arms of Lady Justice. There's my girl. The collar. Well, see, I was just looking and I was just thinking it looks like flowers. But then I looked at her dress, and her dress is made of flowers. So it's like something about vocalizing the truth, but then bringing that down a little bit. Yeah, because like where the flower part of her dress, it would be from like the solar sacral root. Okay. So what's going underneath the Six of Swords? The Eight of Cups. Weird. Spirit is showing me, I don't know what this means yet, as per usual, but Spirit is showing me that this palm tree goes in one and the anchor goes in the other. Palm tree. Oh, it's how you get off the island. I don't know what it has to do, but okay, so the palm tree, it's like she made leaves, because you know how like when people are trapped on an island, they start looking for all of like the debris and stuff washed up on the shore to be like, how can I make a flotation device? Or like any of those old prison movies like Papillon, like when they're escaping off of Alcatraz, like the island. Okay. So the palm tree goes in one side, the anchor in another. Okay, I'm not quite sure. It's coming to me. Hold on, let's push this back a little bit. You go here, you go here. Okay. But also, like, one is up, one is down. Oh, yeah, as above, so below. Balance. But I also feel like you get, like, respite from a palm tree. Like, most people take shelter under a tree. It gives shade. So there's something here about hold on. An island. Yeah, there's a lot of movement here. Okay, so the chariot's going underneath the Seven of Wands to the Nine of Swords to the Chariot. So what is going underneath the Knight of Pentacles to Justice? Oh, the King of Penties. Ooh la la. And it's the sunflowers. Oh, yeah. See, look, she carries her kingdom on the crown. Oh, so it's also like bringing the things that anchor you. Because also, like, she's able to pick up and go. There's something here about being able to take the very things that make you feel safe. It's about kind of carrying it with you. Because I'm actually seeing when people carry water, you know, you'd have like the board with the two buckets. So it's about being able to balance. Yeah, it's interesting. The words aren't quite coming. Hold on. Let's get out the last card here. Okay, so what is the last card? The Six of Swords to the Eight of Cups. Oh, the Nine of Pentacles. Look at all this yellow. And I love it because we got the little snail. He's my favorite. He's the one who's peering over to be like, whoa, can I do this? Can I do this? And Snail says yes, goes for it. Is like, I'm doing it, guys. I am getting the fuck out of here. Who cares if everyone says I'm too small, too slow to do it? I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get off of this fruit bowl. Yeah, I think we can all agree that it does feel like a bit of a, like we're stuck in a fruit bowl with a bunch of crumbly cookies. Ooh, this is the thing about group assignments. I'm in a group assignment right now, my biology class. The world feels like we're in a group assignment together, and we all know how group assignments go. Always. There's always one who puts in more effort. There's like the people in the crowd that just like don't participate at all but want all the points. Yeah. And so you're like that little snail where you're like, let's get out of Dodge. Okay. Okay, so Justice and Eight of Cups are both facing the past. Okay, let's clarify. Okay, Grandmama, tell me about the Seven of Wands. Ooh, the Six of Cups. Well, the fact that he has love. Oh, and look, his sunflowers. Just like that King of Pentacles. Oh, so like, is this actually about you and a person? Interesting. Sorry, I'm just looking at the color. The blue of her dress and the blue of this Six of Swords cloud person seems like the same one, but that could be you. Yeah, I feel like that is you. So like dark hair and a little bit stormy, but you're guided by love. But yeah, you're morose about something. but you want to bust out and you want to move forward. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is a little bit fantastical, but as we're seeing this story, though, of like being on the island and just like, again, working with what you got. Again, you're stuck in a cage, locked in prison forever, and you don't even normally have big muscles, because also, like, not everybody needs big muscles to, you know? But it's like, you're like Honey Badger. The one, what was his name? Oh, God, that little cutie patootie. The one that they kept, the rehabilitation place had to kept, like, rebuilding his pen because he just kept escaping, no matter what they did. When he got that first girlfriend, when they first were like, you know what, he just needs a mate, he just basically put her in the corner and climbed up on top of her and was like, peace, I'm out of here. Left her, was put back in the pen with his girlfriend, and then was like, you know what, let's work together and get out of here. And then they did. And then it was two of them escaping. But it's like using everything at your disposal. Now, the Knight of Pentacles does move slow. Okay, but you are dressed up. Okay, so let's talk about it. Knight of Pentacles. Oh, the Four of Cups. See, we're back to this energy. I did say morose. You want to move forward because, see, look, the bottom here is green and the horse is made of green, but the horse isn't real. So there's a part of you that thinks that you're moving forward, and you are. But again, you've picked a vehicle that is quite slow moving. But the thing is, you've dressed up. So like on one hand, it's not to negate and downplay the energy that you have put into, like you have. We see you busting out of a cage, like you have worked your fucking ass off. But it's kind of like the things that capture us. I mean, Stockholm Syndrome a little bit. It's like the things that have put us into cages, we somehow still carry a torch for, so that even when we escape, we're still looking back to it, to reference to something. And see, even in the balloons, it's got the same shade of green. But I feel like balloons are also kind of, they don't last because they pop. Or like when you're a kid and you finally get your big fresh bouquet of balloons and then you're a bit of a ding-dong because you don't realize that like if you let go outside, it's like gone forever. So but going back to above, because what I was saying, because like the balloon is high, but on the skirt and the horse. So yeah, there's something about bridging here. Something hasn't been bridged. Yeah. See, there's like two sides here. Ah, yes. The balancing, bridging. To get off the island. Yes. Okay. So let's talk about the Six of Swords. How are you leaving? King of Cups. Well, you're leaving through emotion. But here's the thing. Going back, you're still holding back one last piece. And it has to do... Well, it's not actually fast... or it's not past-facing, but you're still holding back a piece. Look, a big ship's coming through, and it's coming through mountain, you know, rock. And it's interesting because, like, technically this boat could go around, but, like, this has been blasted through to create a space to go in between, to go through hard, impenetrable things. And so thankfully, it is a big ship. So big things are coming through. But with that Four of Cups energy, there's just this last piece, and I think it's true of all of us, that we always kind of hold back. One last little thing, and I don't even know sometimes that we're aware of it. I think it's self-protective. Yeah, you don't want to put all your chips down. You think you are, where you're like, you know what? New me, new life, all the things that I want, dream for, desire, I'm going to put all my chips on it. I'm going to put all my chips on me. And it's like, this energy, yeah, you're still a little bit too afraid. Exactly, the Nine of Swords. And with the ring being emphasized, it's like committing fully. That's what it is. It's committing fully to whatever that 10 toes in. Because that's the thing, when we're comfortable, it creates, this is why it's important to be really uncomfortable. And you'll probably find that when you're not willing to do the thing that's required, life just continuously gets harder and harder and harder. And you're like, what the fuck? And it's because Spirit is like, you're too comfortable. We've made it uncomfortable, and you're doubling down on not changing a thing, or like not moving towards something different. You're staying stuck in what is familiar, even if what is familiar is total caca garbage. It's the commitment. Doubling down on something that you cannot see yet, you may not have the proof. Doubling down and putting all of your money down on you, down on the dreams, visions, desires that you have. You got to go all in. When we hold back, I'm telling you, you get piss poor results. That's what trust and faith is. And we talk about it like it's easy breezy. It's not. I struggle with trust and faith all the fucking time. I think any person who truly has devoted themselves to a life of spiritual or theological devotion, truly, and you hear it even amongst priests and like elders and different, it's like, and I ask people all the time of different faiths and traditions that have been at it a long time and may be recognized for their role in that community, but like, how do you deal with trust and faith? And it's something inherently that we all struggle with. And it's that struggle, why it's so personal is because it's your own personal relationship to spirit, the divine. And it's what creates that tension and that intimacy. Just like in a real relationship, you can't grow further in your relationship with the divine if you can't have conflict, because conflict is intimacy. It is. There's nothing more intimate than conflict and how you handle that with people. Okay. So, Lady Justice. 2. Oh. 6 of Wands to the 8 of Pentacles. Well, this is Grandmama showing up. She always shows up as a hummingbird. See, trust and faith. That you're being guided, led, and directed. Oh, but see, this to me is divine. You're trying to guide and direct the divine. I see. So that you can get where you want to go. Uh-huh. But in the same breath, what Spirit is trying to say is that, again, because Grandmama's coming through, and then I saw all of this as like your ancestors, and this as like one of your ancestors, maybe a grandmama, is that they are trying to guide you. But this is the thing. When you're in fear, and trust me, it is very, again, understated, to be able to quiet the din of fear when it's happening in real time, whether that's a panic attack, whether that's like real systemic barriers where you're like, wow, I'm about to be unhoused, or like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay my bills, I don't know how I'm gonna feed my kids, or like, I don't know how I'm gonna fix my vehicle, or like real life stuff that comes up for people, or like, oh, I have this illness, or like, it could be all the things, relationships. What I know to be true of my own experiences is that, for one, I never will make my best decisions if I'm frantic. That's just true for me. I think it's probably true for all of us. But keeping the math simple. So if I'm in, sorry guys, I'm all congested. It's dry as hell in here and I'm struggling. And I used to suffer debilitating panic attacks in my youth. So much so that like I was getting hospitalized on the regular. Like, thought I was dying. I was having about 20 to 30 debilitating panic attacks a day. It got to the point that I was getting agoraphobic. I couldn't leave the house. I didn't want to be far away from a hospital. I started to develop a thing where I thought people were going to try to poison me. I know. It was at the height of a lot of trauma in my life, so it was coming out in my body as panic attacks. Yeah, so I couldn't eat unpackaged food. It had to be packaged. And I say this, though, because when your body is having a physiological, biological response, it's like very easy to be like, oh, just get out your crystals in your bell and just like and like bing 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 bing. Like, anyone who's at least had true panic attacks know that like it's a lot. But it's the same kind of energy, though, of mind over matter, that when real fears are playing out, I think it's just like, I don't know. It just sounds really easy, and I know it's not easy, but my point to all of this is that you can't hear divinity when there's just like a cacophony of noise coming from every direction. So you can't possibly hear divinity when there's like 30 million thoughts keeping you up at night. Now, this Eight of Pentacles, you've been working really hard, like to fill it in. These parts of yourself that are delicate, that may have been injured. Like, it's a miracle that the wind itself doesn't bust through butterfly wings on the regs. And maybe they do. Maybe it's just a little known fact. But I feel like, going back to the flower petals. Yeah. You know how soft flower petals are? Like, again, if you feel like you don't know how to touch or be connected to your body in this way, to like feel, I really encourage you to start by finding the tiniest flowers and just, you gotta bring your attention. It might take a little bit, but to just like learn how to touch something so delicate, because you don't want to break it, you don't want to rip it. See if you can touch the smallest flower and feel everything without destroying it. It requires a delicate, sensitive hand. But see, I feel like you've been doing that to yourself. And like, look at how cradled, how like held this big old butterfly feels. So again, it's not like you haven't been doing the work. I'm here to acknowledge that for you. You have been doing the work. And I know what it feels like to be like, I've been doing the fucking work. Why the fuck am I still stuck? Totally get that. Very reasonable. Humans, we're so simple, yet so complex. We make it complex. We do. Now, what's interesting is that everyone else in the crowd, I just noticed now, technically is soft. But you got this little hard shell. But it is past-facing. Yeah, there is a real protective component here because you are so soft. You are very tender. But I think that's part of this holding back. It's the last piece of your softness that you're holding back. You're like, listen, I've been so damaged before. What should have been impenetrable, it's not even my softness. Things that were hard, people still blasted through and took, you know? And I can't repair that. So it's like, there's a part of you, this last little bit that is so near and dear to you. That makes a lot of sense. But it's the very thing that makes you extraordinary. It's your essence. And when we hold back from not only giving that to ourselves, because if you're holding it back from the world, it means that you're not fully connected to it for yourself. And that's the problem. So that is the old energy. But we see you're the snail. And it, again, snails appear to be slow moving, but I'm telling you right now, if I had a snail in here, oh, I know she could cruise across this table just fine. It may appear to be slow, but I love snails. I've spent a lot of time watching snails, and I'm a big fan. Ooh, what's this? Oh. Well, it did come out reversed. But the one I did see reversed was the Eight of Swords. But again, getting out of the cage. So when it's reversed, though, I see it as like, the cage is now open, you can go. If it were upright, it's like, you can't let yourself out. But being reversed, it's like, no, you're free. See, before, I think you just did a lot of watching. In that protecting of self, there was a lot of things that move you in terms of like information and watching people, places, and things. Again, being on the outside, looking in, watching the things that you love that make you feel really good about this world, this life, things that keep you interested and curious, you know, that allow it to grow in the mind. It's all, again, this going back to like the leaf horse, it's, yeah, it's up here, but we have to bring it down because even when it's fantastical, you can make the fantastical a reality, even if it's not right down to the T, but you could still have the qualities of the thing that you're imagining. So what I see though, is what's changing is not only, again, we're going back to you're getting out of the cage, but now you're not going to be in seeking mode, but also like the, oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Spectator. Even on the sidelines. Yeah, the sideline. But the sideline is like the middle. But like you're just watching. And the things that give you passion and excite you, you keep it up here, but you don't bring it down. But that's changing. And you start to actually, but see, even though this is still fantastical, this is still actually movement compared to that Knight of Pentacles. Like, it looks solid, but, okay, so let's talk about the Chariot. Yeah, the decision to just put down these burdens. And see, I think part of the attachment in these burdens that you've been carrying unnecessarily is that they're beautiful to you. Beautiful burdens, aka codependency, right? When we overgive and overextend, as a way to feel safe, right? Like, if I just outsource all of my energy to external people, places, and things, yeah, there's something here around rejection. Can I have one more? The Chariot to the Ten of Wands. Ooh, the Hanged Man. And see, upside down from the sky. Again, it's like really trying to pull. Spirit wants you to take this really like, yeah, you're up in the clouds. We gotta bring it down. Because again, there can't be movement forward if you can't take the theoretical or whatever it is, this dream landscape, the dreams, the desires, the wants, the hopes, all of that stuff. We need to bring it down, but also to redirect to yourself first. Yeah, it's like the way that she's clutching. And see, we have this gold sash, but we see it in justice. The gold starts to come out. The gold. All of this gold in yellow. See? But I see her dress right here as the sash. So again, taking that solar is about that confidence, your light, the thing that makes you extraordinary, the thing, again, that we hold back from when we've been hurt, that last little piece of light that we say, because if I share that, it's because it comes from the belief that someone can take that away from you. Now, as I've been saying, I've been live reporting from hell consistently this past year. And what I have found as someone who has lived through extraordinary horrors is that nothing can take away that flame. That's the truth, a spiritual truth. Because that spark is source, and it can never be broken nor destroyed. It can feel like it when we lose access, because with traumas, I do believe that we can fragment. But that light, that essence, the spark of creation, that is the very thing that cannot be taken from you. And it's recognizing that. And when you can move through the world, trusting your own divinity, trusting in your own magnificence, and not, again, in a narcissistic way. The only way I can just describe it is how I look at my son. Our ideas around perfection is just so stupid, for one. Like, again, it's man-made ideas and concepts, but also, like, we were not the originator of these ideas. We've been conditioned. Because when you create doubt in people, the inner war begins. And as we've seen, it's pretty hard to fight a revolution if you're just fighting yourself, you know? Nobody wants people to realize how empowered we are, you know? Because look how you show up next. You're a king, but look how soft you are. Yeah, and the kingdom, carry it up here. Yeah, see, like, there's a place for you to hold stuff up here, but there has to be this, like, pipeline, right? The conduit. See yourself as, like, a hollow bone. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, King of Pentacles. The Fool. And see, look, there's an offering of a buttercup. See, it's standing on top, again, of the very people, places, and things that want to disempower. And see, look how they're offering the buttercup. You already have the buttercup in your hand. You know why? Because you don't need external validation to know your own worth. It already exists without the acknowledgement of other people. That was one of my lessons last year. It came through in a reading. The seeker versus the seer. When we realize our own worth and value, we no longer need to be singularly focused on something. That's the illusion, that all these other people, places, and things are gonna fill that hole. There is no hole. It's just literally about being able to see our own light. And that's what the Nine of Pentacles is. Self-fulfillment. And I love it because her nail polish is that beautiful shade of orange I love. And we have the red apple. Ace of Cups. See? It's self-love. And when you love yourself, when you remember who and what you are and where we come from, then it just pours out. And then it can naturally be outsourced to people. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to try because you're just being you. Like, that's the trick. Everything is a dichotomy, you know? Okay. So really, it's about you discovering this inner light, truly. Now, the journey never ends, and it's never as it seems. Like, this is the thing. Everything in life is like a Japanese koan, so I've learned. And this and that are true. And just like the sayings go, just when you think you know, you don't know. Okay. So, as we wrap up, okay, so Grandmama, oh, 8 of Wands. Okay, well, now there's some quick movement. What? Where are you headed to? Oh, King of Swords. Look, you're back up in the sky, in the cosmos. But see, you're stitching into reality. You're weaving and stitching this, like, cosmology. Like the actual truths, right? All these little points of light, what I call universal math. When you can take real concrete things, because I like to deduce things to its simplest form, especially in spirituality and philosophy, really. It's way too easy to, like, and trust me, as a Gemini, I can take it to the nth degree. And for me, it's just like, just deduce it. Everything can be deduced to its simplest form. And that immediately can take you out of the cage of the mind. You want to deal with real concrete things, even when it seems like you're talking about intangible things. Okay, but what's the 8 of Wands? Oh my God, the 10 of Penties. Yes. Well, there's something here about the colors lining up. Like, this and this look similar. I don't know. The concentric rings mark age on a tree. The umbrella. What are you trying to show to me? Yeah, like, I don't know. And then even this. There's something about, like, the top, like, I don't know, like the top view. We're seeing, like, the top view of the trunk. The top of the umbrella is her skirt. The globe. Okay, Spirit, what are you trying to show me here? You're showing me something. I can like kind of see the connection under an umbrella. But going back to the palm tree, concentric rings. Well, tell me more. The Eight of Wands, what are you showing me with the tree and the... There's something here. Okay, this card. Judgment. Five of Cups. Well, it was weird too. There's something here about the lines, because I also said hollow bone. But in certain ceremonies, the eagle bone gets whistled in certain ceremonies. There's something here. Yeah, there's like a spiritual communication here. Oh, going back to the ancestors. Oh, that's what it is. You're gonna be able to hear from your ancestors now, or like the divine. But there is really an emphasis here on your ancestors. Because you've been going through a really hard time. Yeah, okay. Oh, and this goes back to, like, again, the cosmology. Like up above. Okay, the King of Swords is going back to the Six of Swords. What's the world? The Knight. We're back to that Knight. See, this is nice. Okay, so what we see is, again, you may have only had one little grain of truth to follow. Again, the courage to leave, to do something. Again, the uncomfortability. And maybe that's how Spirit had to do it. Remove all of the beautiful things. It gave you one thing, but also created this tension for you to be able to finally leave the island of your discontent. You took shelter here, just like the cage. Going back to like the whole Stockholm syndrome. Getting a little too comfortable with the people and environments that were actually harsh conditions, that actually imprisoned you. That's what it is. Too comfortable. But now that you've left, it gives you access. And again, you're the one in control. You get to weave and stitch in the very things to create the world that you want. See? Old world, new world. And what we're ending is fantastical things. Things that don't exist. Getting ready for things that don't exist. But like making movement. Making real movements, if that makes sense. Okay, last two cards. Let's go, Grandmama. Close us out. See, the Nine of Wands. It ties into being comfortable. Being uncomfortable in environments. See, at this point, again, it's the gussying up. It's like you feel as though if you stay in the environment, but you just change your appearance. Ah, yes. So the environment has been the same, but you've been changing yourself. So getting dressed up to go to a new location to be like, oh, if I just put on my party hat and this beautiful dress, I'll get to where I'm going. But it's like, no. And same here, it's like, oh, I've just been whipped and lashed and flogged and like, but if I just put on my beautiful lipstick and get my hair ready, like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, you got too comfortable with the environments that were not serving you. You adapted to it, mostly out of survival. But Spirit is like, we got to get you out of the environment. It's not your environments. And environments can also be people, places, things, you know? Mindsets, all of the places. See? King of Wands, baby. Yeah, look at you bloom. You got the fleur-de-lis. Beautiful. Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave it there. Just beautiful. You got this. You absolutely got this. And just remember, you're magnificent. Like, you have a magnificence that you haven't even fully discovered about yourself. It's your best asset, and it cannot be broken nor destroyed. See? Look at all that light. Okay, kitty whiskers. Stay blessed. Stay golden.